Alright, hello everybody. I have been suffering from COVID for the last week or so, but we do have a random Rivals balance patch that has suddenly dropped. This was completely unexpected, no scheduling, no notes, nothing. We just have changes now. So yeah, I'm going to try and explain to you what those changes are. I'm not sure about this, because obviously, like I said, there's no notes, so I can't be 100% sure that these are accurate. But this is, to the best of my understanding, this is what has changed in this most recent patch. So first of all, we've got Liang. Liang drone hit points are now 150 from 430. So this obviously says 510. This is level 1 changes, the numbers I'm giving you. So obviously at level 15 it's got a lot more hit points. But basically Liang has like 1/3 the hit points it used to have. This means it will get one shot by everything, I think. I don't think there's any unit that can shoot Liang drone that will not instantly kill it now. The starting cooldown is now going to be 20 seconds longer. That means the first time you can use it. So previously you could use it at 45 seconds, now it's 65 seconds. And then when you use it, the cooldown used to be 35 and now will be 45. So basically, Liang, much weaker, takes longer to deploy, and each time you deploy it, you need to wait 10 seconds longer to deploy it again. And finally, the last change is it's going to spawn one tile further back, I think, than where it used to. It might even be, hang on, it says it's 3 tiles back from the middle rather than 2 tiles from the opponent's base. So I'm just going to quickly check this. Alright, so the first time you can deploy the drone is now much later. And where you can deploy the drone, yeah, you can only deploy the drone like at your base, basically, like right at the back. This is obviously like you used to be able to deploy it 2 away from your opponent's base. Now you can only deploy it 2 away from your own base. The cooldown is longer. And it still can't move. It still can't move. And I believe, yeah, you can see it dies buried. That was a level 5. That was a +6 drone dying to a level 5 bot Strongarm turret. So, Liang, colossal nerf. Huge nerf to Liang. Liang was one of the worst commanders in the game and has received a gigantic nerf. So, Liang is now absolutely horrendous. Okay, up next, McNeil. McNeil has now been changed. McNeil now has a setup timer of 0.3 seconds instead of 1 second. This is how long it takes the trap to deploy when you use it. It's had an attack speed decrease of 30% to 70%. So McNeil is now more than twice as powerful. Reload decrease from 30 to 70 as well. So obviously units that reload, that's going to affect them the same way it affects regular attacking units. And the movement speed decrease has gone from 40% to 15%. So I'm going to quickly just try McNeil here. It sounds like what McNeil now does. McNeil used to be like kind of terrible, but it would slow down enemy units approaching. That was the main thing it did. So it made it hard for things to get on the pad. It sounds like now that has gone away. It barely slows enemy units, but it massively reduces their attack speed and reload timer, which means that fighting inside the trap is going to be like just unplayable, basically. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, it deploys instantly, you can see. It doesn't slow the enemy unit much, but look at this, it's not even attacking. That rifleman is just not even firing. Holy crap. Okay, so McNeil now completely negates anything inside the trap, but it doesn't slow you down. So McNeil is now incredibly powerful, it looks like. I mean, it's obviously first impressions. I haven't played any games yet. McNeil now looks incredibly powerful as long as you stay inside the trap. So you cannot fight inside the trap now. That's basically what McNeil does. Look at this turret attacking. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can't really tell on the turret. But it sounds like McNeil is going to now be... Oh, you can kind of see how slowly it's firing. It sounds like McNeil is now going to be, you have to get out of it. Like, you can't fight inside a McNeil trap. That's what McNeil now does. Alright, what else we got? The next change is Strongarm has gone from 50 to 40. So, where's Strongarm at? Strongarm is now 40 again. I think that's a great change. I have no opinion on the McNeil change yet. I have no idea. I haven't played the games with it. It could be incredibly powerful. It could be like super whatever still. My inclination is to think that McNeil is now going to be very, very strong. Minigun turret now 40. Great change. There was no reason for it ever to go up to 50. So, great change. Minigun back to 40. Strongarm might now be decent again, hopefully. Because honestly, that extra 10 cost was really bad for Strongarm and was completely unnecessary. The next change is Jump Jet Troopers. Jump Jet Troopers are now fastest, but they've had jump removed. So, what that means is, again, I will load in a game against bots and try and show you, but basically what that means is, let's put in some units that have been changed as well. What that means is, Jump Jet Troopers are faster, but can no longer jump over things. So, that's obviously going to be a pretty huge change. That's going to be a pretty... I'm just adding in units that have been changed here. That's going to be a pretty huge change for the Jump Jet Troopers. Possibly making them useless. Possibly making them okay. I think... I don't know. We'll see. That's a pretty insane change, obviously. Oh shit, they changed the Orca as well. It's going to be exciting. Alright, let me add in all these random units so I can try and show you in-game. But yeah, what this means is Jump Jet Troopers will no longer be able to fly over ground units. This is obviously going to be a huge nerf for Jump Jet Troopers. It might actually... I think they were kind of unplayable anyway, so it's not like that big a cost that they're going to be more unplayable. But yeah, I think Jump Jet Troopers might be totally unplayable now. Another thing we've got is Rhino now has free vision again. Those of you who played very, very early beta will remember Rhino and Buggy having free vision. This is like before dogs and wheels existed. And then they were changed to 2 vision, which was a terrible change. I think Rhino and Buggy should always have been viable scout units. So yeah, they're back to free vision. That's a great change. As you can see, that's the only change to Rhino, I believe. No, its speed is up as well, apparently. Yeah, actually, I think that is moving faster. Rhino might be insane now. Rhino, like, the speed on Rhino was the only thing that made it bad. Like, Buggy was a decent unit, and Rhino was terrible because it was slow. But now it's fast. It's faster, even. So Rhino could actually be, like, super strong now. Alright, let me show you Jump Jet Troopers. So, yeah, as you know, Jump Jet Troopers normally... Yep, you have to fly around things now. They can't go over the rock, even. Oh, my god. Okay, so, yeah, Jump Jet Troopers are just fully a ground unit. Yep, Jump Jet Troopers are now completely a ground unit. They cannot go over anything. They just have this fancy animation, but they are literally a ground unit. What else have we got that's got to change? Okay, so the Grenadier has had a change. Grenadier's hit points are up to 620. I believe that might make them the same hit points as a mutant. So Grenadiers might be mutants now, which means that could be a big change. As you guys know, mutants are really good. Grenadiers I've hated, or not like, I thought they were weak for a very long time. They might be quite strong now. There's possibility here that Grenadiers are actually going to be a good unit, because they're now going to have the same hit points as a, what's it called? A mutant marauder, I think. So they could be really strong. They've also had their EMP slightly nerfed. I don't know if that'll matter too much, but that is a thing to note. Okay, another huge change. The MSV has had a massive rework. Oh, excuse me. Still kind of sick. So the MSV has had a massive rework. The MSV has gone attack speed from 50% buff to 5%. 5%, so it basically doesn't affect your attack speed anymore. Reload speed buff has gone from 55% to 5%. So it basically doesn't reload things either. Movement speed bonus has gone from 2.5, that's 2.5 movement, so movement is rated in numbers in this game, to 4.5. So it now gives a much bigger movement speed buff. You can see the Rhino like scooting around pretty hard here. And pack up time has gone from 2.25 to 1.1. So the MSV now packs up a lot quicker. Oh yeah, you can see the animation doesn't even work anymore. Yeah, they broke the animation with this because it packs up so fast now. You can see it's trying to pack up and it's moving. Okay, so that looks ridiculous, obviously. that animation is broken now. So the MSV is basically just a boost box, like actually just speed boost. That's all it does now. It just makes things faster. This is going to gut the MSV completely. This unit will be, I suspect this unit will be like completely unplayable now. But I think that MSV, my personal take on MSV is that the unit is very badly designed. So I actually think that removing it from the game is a good idea. So I'm kind of okay with this if this is the change. I think that unit shouldn't really exist. I think it is a very bad design. I think it's actually the worst design in the entire game. So I'm okay with this change. But obviously anyone who liked MSV is not going to be okay with this, because I believe this unit is now completely unplayable. What else have we got? Shatterer infantry damage has gone up from 180 to 210. I don't know the breakpoints well enough to tell you how this is going to affect things for the Shatterer, but it is a Shatterer buff. With the MSV being nerfed, that's probably okay, because it's the toxic nature of the MSV Fortress. That means you can't have Shatterer be decent. But the Shatterer still has all the same problems as before, that it's a unit that has to stand still and fight infantry, and why would your opponent ever walk into it? The question is, can it now, if it can beat things like mutants on attack, that's a big change. It's possible that it will now be able to walk into a mutant and win. That's, again, I haven't played any games, I have to test these things. But that is the change. Razorback hit points has gone from 1500 to 1530. This sounds like a small change, but it means that it doesn't die to a Phantom anymore. Phantom does exactly 1500 hit points, or something very similar to that, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure this means a Phantom will no longer one-shot a Razorback. It'll put it on like 30 hit points, so it'll be basically dead, but not actually dead. This is a pretty big change, because obviously you can't just have your Razorback instantly shut down by Phantoms. What else we got? Oh, the Orca Bomber is the final GDI change. So this is a big one. It now costs 100, which is not that big a change. But the bomb drop interval speed has gone from 0.85 seconds to 0.5. This means instead of dropping a bomb every 0.85 seconds, it'll drop a bomb every half a second. So let's watch this happen. Yeah, look at that. That bomb's so much faster. Holy crap. That is insane how fast that bombs. This is actually a change I've always wanted for the Orca Bomber. My biggest problem with the Orca Bomber before they nerfed it was that it gave too much area denial. Like, it bombed for so long, you couldn't get back on a pad after they started bombing. Like, new bikes would just get insta-killed by the new bombs. And it was like a really long period of time that you had to wait until you get back on the pad. So I think this is a really good change. This also means it's going to do a lot more damage to targets underneath it. Excuse me. This means it's going to do, like, I mean, obviously it'll do the same amount of damage total, but it'll do it a lot quicker. Which means that you can bomb a single target to death very, very quickly. Having said that, the AoE on the Orca Bomber is still quite poor. It doesn't do that much side damage. And it still isn't that quick, so it has a hard time catching anything. I don't know if this will actually make the Orca Bomber good. I think it needed to have this plus a reversion of its AoE damage change. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to be enough to make the Orca Bomber playable again, but it is a significant change to the Orca Bomber. Alright, so that is all of the GDI changes. Let's talk about Nod. So we've got quite a lot of Nod changes as well. First of all, Jade. Jade now takes 2.5 seconds instead of 3 seconds to fire her missile. This is a pretty big change. This is half a second less for you to dodge a Jade missile that's coming in. Again, I've not played it. I heard this patch hit, I immediately made this video. So I've played 0 games. I don't know if you can dodge it anymore. I assume yes. I don't think half a second is enough to stop you. But it means that slower units are probably going to have a much harder time. Like maybe Predator can't dodge it anymore. You know, units of that nature, like maybe really slow units can no longer dodge a Jade missile. If Jade missile can actually target an enemy unit and kill it consistently, it's very, very powerful. So this is a big buff to Jade. This is actually the biggest buff Jade can really get. This is a huge buff. We will see how this matters in the future. I don't know yet, but it's obviously a big buff, and it could make Jade actually good again. We'll see. Fanatics. Fanaticism, that's the buff they give. It used to give a movement buff of 25%. Now it gives a flat 2.5 increase. For reference, 2.5 is what the MSV used to give before this patch in movement speed. So this will now just flat buff the speed of... Oh, hello. What is that? Interesting. So this is broken, it looks like. The Fanatics, like, stat page is now broken. So that's awkward. But yeah, this is now going to give a flat 2.5 movement increase. I have no idea if that's going to be enough to make them good again. I think probably not, but the movement speed was one of the best things about Fanatic buff, so maybe. Scarabs have doubled their hit points. Scarabs used to have 125 hit points and now have 250 per model. This is obviously a pretty small change. 250 is still not a large number, but it is twice as much as they used to have. This means that I don't know how this is going to impact Scarabs, but I suspect it, hopefully, I'm hoping this means that Orca will no longer one-shot them. Because previously an Orca volley would wipe out an entire Scarab squad, which I think was kind of uncool, because Orcas are not good versus infantry, and you couldn't use Scarabs to kill them. I don't think it'll really make any difference. Scarabs still cost 40, they're still terrible. But hopefully it means that Orca won't one-shot them, because that was really dumb. So good change there. Okay, attack bikes. This is a big one, I think. So the attack bikes charge up delay... Oh no, hang on. Attack bikes charge up delay has gone from 0.1 seconds to 0 seconds. I believe this is the initial attack delay. So this is how long it takes an attack bike to shoot something after it gets next to it. So instead of it taking 0.1 seconds for attack bikes to lock on and attack something, it now takes 0 seconds. However, the attack separation delay, this is the amount of time between each bike firing, has gone from 0.1 seconds to 0.25 seconds. What this essentially means, I believe, is that attack bikes are no longer as good a fire and move unit. So they'll lock on quicker. Yeah, look at that. Look how long it takes to fire. It's kind of the same. It looks like the second and third bike don't have attack delay. The first one fires and then the next two have a delay and then fire simultaneously, it looks like. That's kind of how it looks. So the reason for this change is that you guys have probably known the bike missile bug, where missiles hit drones at exactly the same time. So 2 bike missiles will only kill a single drone swarm. That is the intention of this change. This change is supposed to make it so that the bike missiles will fire separately and therefore will each individually hit a target drone. That's the intention of the change. I don't know if it's going to work that way, because it kind of looks like what's happening is the second and third missile are firing at the same time, which is more likely to cause issues, I think, than less. So I'm a little concerned that this change has not been implemented properly, and will in fact cause the opposite of the intended effect, and we'll see the bug missile happening more often rather than less often. But there you go. Next change, buggy is also now vision free, same as the Rhino. Sure, great change, big fan. Chemical buggy. Chemical buggy cloud time has gone from 1 second to 2.1 seconds. This means it takes 2.1 seconds to deploy a cloud. Look at that, there's no cloud. I killed that entire... Obviously, I'm much higher level than these riflemen, but it takes a very long time to deploy a chemical cloud now. A very long time to deploy a chemical cloud with a chemical buggy. I don't know if this is true for chem troopers as well. Look how long it takes to deploy a cloud. This is a colossal nerf for chem buggy, by the way. For those of you who don't know, chem buggy's damage primarily is from the cloud. Like, a lot of the damage comes from the cloud. It's going to take so long to deploy this cloud now. This is going to make chemical buggy much worse versus mutants and grens as well, because those are units where you want to deploy the cloud and run. And now it takes forever to deploy this cloud. That's not going to work out. This combined with Grenadiers getting a hit point buff, we might see Grenadiers beating chemical buggy fairly consistently now. I don't know, I mean, chemical buggy was kind of overpowered. I think everyone knew that, so maybe a nerf to chemical buggy is reasonable here, but this is a pretty brutal nerf to how chemical buggy works. Again, I haven't played enough games. I haven't played any games, so I have no idea how this will actually impact gameplay. I just know that's the change that's been made. Giga cannon. This is a good one here. I like this one. Giga cannon infantry stage 2 damage has gone from 15 to 8, and stage 3 has gone from 30 to 12. This means that a Giga Cannon that is at stage 3 is now doing less damage than it used to do at stage 2 to infantry. This is a great change, because obviously Giga Cannon used to 1v1 lasers, which was incredibly dumb. So that should hopefully not happen anymore. It should be a lot worse at killing infantry. Also, the charge store time, that's the amount of time a Giga Cannon can maintain charge between targets, has gone from 1 second to 0.7 seconds. This means you need to spend less time. You need to spend less time outside of range of a Giga Cannon to let it decharge, basically, which is also a very good change, because it's very frustrating the fact that you have to you can't move in against a Giga Cannon because it maintains its full charge. That was a very annoying aspect of Giga Cannon, so this is a good change here. Oh my god, Banshee Raider added. Charge up delay 0.5 seconds to 0 seconds. This means Banshee will have Raider now. I'm gonna have to check this in another bot game in a second. I'm pretty sure this will only be forward Raider. It doesn't have a turret, so it can't fire sideways. But this means that Banshee can fire forwards as it moves. And its charge up delay has gone from 0.5 to 0. This means it'll fire instantly. This is a pretty big change for Banshee. This is gonna make Banshee 1v1 Talon very comfortably. Whereas previously, even on offense, it'll beat a Talon, or at least tie with it, because it'll fire instantly and it'll move forward and Raider into it. This might make Banshee really good. I don't know. I'll have to try this out, but that might make Banshee really good. Catalyst gunship infantry damage has gone from 200 to 270. This, I believe, means it will once again one-shot shock troopers and flames. If that's what that means, then it makes it a lot better. And its hit points are up to 1530. So big buff for the Catalyst gunship. And then finally, the Inferno, reload time has gone from 12 to 13 seconds. And the reload movement speed buff is down. Yeah, look how slow it is. Even when reloading, it's still slow as fuck. Oh my god, that's such a huge Inferno nerf. So it now takes 13 seconds to reload. And instead of going 45% faster, it only goes 20% faster. Have they slowed it down as well? I can't tell if this is... No, Inferno's always been super slow. So yeah, the Inferno got a massive nerf. Absolutely massive nerf. It doesn't scoot away anymore when reloading. Look at that. Even with boost, it's still so slow. This could be the end of the reign of Inferno. Inferno might be bad now, honestly. Like, we'll have to wait and see, but this is a pretty huge... I mean, this is a pretty painful nerf for the Inferno. Alright, I'm going to quickly load up a game with Banshee so we can have a look at that. And then that'll be the end of the video. I would like to say once again, these are not confirmed changes. As you can see, I'm playing these rando games against bots, and there are changes implemented. I don't know for sure that all of these numbers I'm giving you are 100% correct. And I don't know these are all of the changes either. I believe they are. There might be more changes that I don't know about, but I don't think there are. And like I say, I'm not 100% sure these numbers are actually definitely correct. So let's see if we can get the Banshee. So let's see how this works. Yep, it has Raider. So as you can see, it won't fire sideways. It doesn't have a turret, but it can now fire, if I can get it to do it. It's kind of like the Mohawk. It's the super awkward Raider. Yeah, there you go. It kind of fired forwards. It did like a little strafing run. Yep. All right, there you go. So Banshee can fire while moving, sort of. It also has this 0-second delay, so it fires instantly. That's a pretty big change for the Banshee. I don't know if this will make Banshee good, but it certainly could. It definitely could make Banshee good. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had no idea this patch was coming. I'm as shocked as you are. Obviously terrible timing as usual, because they drop a patch when I have COVID. This is just like when they dropped a patch when I was on holiday. Basically, they hate me, so they just keep releasing patches at the worst possible times for me. But yeah, there's patch notes for you. Preliminary, you know, slightly sketchy patch notes, but patch notes nonetheless. I'll post the patch notes in the comments as well. So yeah, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.